Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, celebrity interviews, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
And welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again, but for a radio audience here in Mississippi at WYAD 94.1 FM and WYADonline.com. We're glad that you all could be with us. Also, joining us through iHeartRadio and Amazon Music Podcast. We're glad you all could be with us as well. Well, with everything that young people are dealing with right now, two health crises definitely are threatening them these days, those being a mental health crisis and a vaping epidemic. In fact, a Truth Initiative survey found that 93% of young e-cigarette users reported that vaping nicotine negatively affected their lives because it made them feel more stressed, more depressed, and even more anxious. For joining us to discuss it in more detail, we're excited to welcome Amy Taylor to our program. Amy is the Chief of Community Engagement for Truth Initiative, and we also have Giana Darville joining us, who is the Truth Initiative Youth Board Liaison. Thanks to the two of you for the time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having us.
Excited to be here.
Look, I love the work that Truth Initiative does. Amy, we'll jump right in. Tell us more about the ongoing youth nicotine vaping epidemic and the impact it's having on young people right now.
Cyrus, you set it up so well. We really are on a collision course between two major crises affecting young people. One is mental health. Young people are stressed out, they're depressed, they're anxious. I have 3 teenagers at home, so I can speak to this directly. And on top of that, we have a vaping crisis. We have more than 2 million high school students who are currently vaping, and they're turning to the vapes because they think it's going to calm them down, it's going to help them feel better, because that's how the tobacco companies and the vape companies are marketing to them. But we know in a survey that we just conducted that 93% of young people who vape feel more stressed out because they vape. So it's an important issue.
Yeah, for sure. So I mentioned the great work that Truth Initiative does then, Amy. What is Truth Initiative doing to bring attention to this issue?
Well, we're exposing that connection between mental health and vaping, and we're calling a vape for what it is. It's a depression stick. It's going to amplify your feelings of stress and anxiety. We just launched a new campaign called Breath of Stress Air, and this is a public education campaign targeted at young people to really bust the fantasy that vapes are a stress reliever, and in fact, they're a stress amplifier. This week, we are conducting our moment of action, and we have young superstars like Giana from all across the country, and they're in town to talk to decision makers and to tell their authentic stories about how vaping has impacted their mental health. And the whole goal of this is to create some urgency amongst decision makers to do something about this really important issue.
Oh, so powerful. Giana, she queued it up perfectly for me to speak with you then. So tell us about the moment of action for mental health and how young people nationwide are getting involved in it.
Definitely. Well, we've been coming from all over the country, from Tennessee, from New York, from Alaska even, to come to D.C. and talk about these issues that are affecting us directly in our communities on a larger scale. And so we've been able to talk to members of the White House. We've been able to talk to key members from the Department of Health and Human Services about how vaping nicotine is, in fact, a mental health issue as well. And so getting to do that has been fantastic because we were also able to be on the National Mall talking a little bit more about that particular fact and doing some breathing exercises because we know that breathing can actually help with some of those symptoms that are resulting, that stress, that anxiety from nicotine vaping. And so we went through some breathing exercises. We talked to people on the street. We've been able to share stories from vapors who were able to quit and from people who are just allies and have loved ones who have done it. And so it's been an incredible opportunity to kind of get on the ground and make sure that we're taking action and calling on key decision makers to declare nicotine vaping a mental health issue.
So, Giana, talk to us about ways that young people can get involved in.
Definitely. Well, talking to each other in their communities is a fantastic place to start. Self-care is a fantastic place to start. But if you want to be able to be connected to an even larger network like here at Truth, you can just text ACTION to 88709. That'll get you looped in on everything that we're doing here. Or if you have a loved one or you yourself are struggling to quit nicotine vaping, we have an amazing service called This Is Quitting, which is free, anonymous, and text-based. It's a program that just walks you alongside the process of quitting nicotine vaping. It's just a super difficult thing to do, but it's possible, and we want people to have the facts, we want them to have support, and we want them to know they're not alone as they're going through this journey.
Giana, that is so great, and thank you so much for the great work you're doing as a liaison with Truth Initiative. And Amy, where can our audience go for more information about this?
Well, again, thank you, Cyrus, for getting out this important information. And if you're interested in just learning more about this issue or getting involved, please go to truthinitiative.org.
All right. Again, everyone, Amy Taylor, Giana Darville have been our guests today, talking with us about the great work that Truth Initiative is doing to be able to really impact these two health crises that young people are facing, the mental health crisis and the vaping epidemic. And looking forward to speaking with the two of you again.
Definitely.
And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live. Now let's go make today amazing. Take care.